Hey there, welcome back to What's Your Take? Happy New Year to everyone. It's going to be a great year of sports, just like 2021 was. Some great moments, underdogs, upsets, buzzer beaters, dominant teams. And speaking of dominant teams, let's get into the college football playoffs. Alright, so Alabama for Cincinnati, 1 versus 4. Then we had uh, Georgia versus Michigan, 2 versus 3. And they sucked. I mean, the playoffs, they just suck, man. They are no fun to watch. If you had to pick between watching the college football playoffs and March Madness, it's March Madness, no competition. College football is only fun until after, like, the conference championship games, maybe. And then it's like, yeah. I mean, the bowl games, I watch quite a bit of the bowl games. I'll get into some of the bowl games that were actually better to watch than the playoffs. But this is why they need like an 8 to 12 team playoff to make it more exciting. The FCS does a playoff, like a 16 team playoff. And that's probably more fun than doing what Division 1 does for football. It's ridiculous. In every sport, you have a playoff system, 1 through 8 or whatever, except for football, and it's just stupid. Expand the playoffs. How dumb are these committee people? Get it right, man. It's not that hard. Gosh. So, like, Alabama won 27-6. And this game wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be like 50 something to like 0 or 7 or whatever. But Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner, went 17 for 28, 181 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But the real guy that stepped up for Alabama that Cincinnati could not stop was Brian Robinson Jr. with 26 carries, 204 yards. He basically set up those 3 touchdowns for Bryce Young because he just grinded down the field. He averaged 7.8 yards per carry. That's almost a first down every time he got the ball. It was definitely, I saw it was like a career high for him in rushing. It was definitely top up there for top performances in the college football playoffs. And they just could not stop this guy. I can't remember. I mean, Alabama has so many good players on their team. I think there was argument for him to be in the Heisman finalists as well, probably. Either him or the Ohio State running back. I can't remember. But he definitely, if we did the Heisman now, I think he would definitely be in there with Bryce Young because of his performance. 204 yards. He had more yards than Cincinnati's entire team at one point. Cincinnati had like 176 yards at one point when he had 200 and some. And they ended up finishing with like 218. So they barely beat one guy. One team barely had more yards than the running back for Alabama. Crazy, right? Cincinnati, they could have made it closer. I remember like at the beginning of the game, they had like 2 opportunities to like make it close. Like I can't remember. They threw like a pass and to like the tight end or something, and he went up and got it, went right through his hands, and altered a field goal. And their other drive that went to a field goal too, they were close to getting a score. So if they score right there instead of hit 2 field goals, you never know. Maybe Alabama wins 27-21, or maybe it's 24-27, or maybe they somehow they get that momentum going and they do beat Alabama, which not a lot of people saw coming. Not saw coming, but not a lot of people thought that would really happen, including myself. I thought it'd be cool to see Cincinnati win, but I thought Alabama would win for sure, probably. So it wasn't a bad game. It was definitely better than the second game, which I was really, really disappointed in. I thought this Michigan-Georgia game was going to be a great game after watching what they did to Ohio State, who's made the college football playoffs multiple times, and they just ran down their throat, and they've been running down teams' throats the entire year. They got destroyed. I'm going to be honest, I didn't even watch the second half. didn't even watch the second half. I was like, it's over. I mean, Michigan couldn't do anything at all. Michigan quarterback Cade McNamara had 11 for 19, 106 yards, and 2 interceptions. But the big story was Haskins. Hassan Haskins had 9 carries for only 39 yards. And he was like the offense, man. Like, he was always carrying this team, and he's a great player. But Georgia did what they needed to do and to stop Haskins. And Georgia's been known this year for their front, for the defensive line, how dominant they've been. And their defense definitely has shown it all year. And this is probably the biggest game they've shown it, besides Alabama and choking in the SEC Finals. But they've showed it in the playoffs against Michigan, how dominant their defense is. It wasn't a fluke all season that their defense was good. It's true. Their defense is legit, and they shut Michigan down. But Georgia, they had an even better day. They are just a dominant team, man. Like, I didn't think that they would hold their own against Michigan because they looked like shit against Alabama. I mean, they couldn't do anything. So I thought, Michigan's got a chance. But no, they choked. They choked. And it happens. And I think Michigan will be back. I wouldn't be surprised. It's possible. And it's not like they're like a fluke. But they could make it back, I think. Now, they got Ohio State in front of them and stuff, but I don't think they're as dominant as they were when Urban was there. But we'll have to see what next season brings for Michigan. In Georgia, the guy in the Georgia game was Cook. Oops, I dropped it. James Cook. He ran. He actually didn't run. He led the team receiving. That's what he did mostly. He had 4 receptions for 112 yards. He averaged 28 yards a catch. And his longest was 53 yards. And Jerome Burton had 1 receiving yard for 57 yards, 1 touchdown. Jermaine Burton had 57 yards on 1 reception. Nolan Smith, linebacker for Georgia, had 8 tackles, 5 solo, 3 assists. So he led the defense, an incredible defense, one of the best defenses of all time, probably. I don't know. I would say the numbers they put up this year, they're pretty good. Now the quarterback, he threw for 313 yards, 3 touchdowns. The longest was 57 yards. Burton. And this quarterback for Georgia, he's a game manager, man. He just can really, I know he's not like the best, like a Bryce Young or anything, but he can really get it down the field and just get guys open. And their offense, honestly, is their weak link, which is kind of crazy. But we'll see if Georgia can handle it against Alabama. I don't know. They've looked bad against them in that SEC championship game, but you never know. They play them once, watch the film, make adjustments. It could happen. Maybe Smart, Kirby Smart finally gets his national championship and the first coach to beat Nick Saban in a big game like this that has worked for him before. And that's the thing. He's worked for him before. So how do you not know what they're going to do? You've been on the staff, Kirby. Come on. So let's get to some better games. So Purdue, Tennessee, I thought was the best bowl game so far. Purdue beat Tennessee in overtime, 48-45. Aiden O'Connell, the quarterback for Purdue, went 26 for 47, 534 yards. He threw 3 interceptions, and they still won the game because he threw for 5 touchdowns. Tennessee, Hendon Hooker, he went 26 for 41, 378 yards, 5 touchdowns. Didn't even throw an interception. There was that play at the end where the Tennessee running back, I thought he was in. He goes in, and they say he's down at the 1 on 4th and goal. I thought he made it. So, controversy call. overall, a great game. South Carolina, North Carolina. South Carolina, everyone thought South Carolina was going to suck this year, but they rattled off 6 wins, went 500, and made a bowl game and beat their in-state rival, North Carolina. Kevin Harris was the star of the game with 182 rushing yards, 31 carries, 1 touchdown, 301 yards rushing as a team. So he really showed up for South Carolina. The battle game that I watched that I thought a lot of people, it wasn't a big bowl game, but I thought it's been the most exciting, or probably second. I thought Tennessee Purdue best one so far. I'll have to see about the games today, but Coastal Carolina beats Northern Illinois 47-41. That game was just up and down. Coastal Carolina, I should have watched them all this season. I know they're don't play that many good teams, but they ran the option. It was just cool to see McCall, quarterback for Coastal Carolina, do the read option, keep it, give it to the fullback, pitch it. It was pretty fun to watch. Garrison McCall went 22 for 30, 315 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Bennett, the running back for Coastal Carolina, had 6 carries for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. So this offense was just flying. Northern Illinois, Jay Ducker, had 24 carries for 146 yards, so he was the main offense for Northern Illinois. Rocky Lombardi, quarterback for Illinois, went 20 for 33, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns. Antonio Brown, 105 yards on 12 carries. So this game was really up and down. If you didn't see it, you should go back and try to find the game. Pretty exciting offensively. So just a good game to watch. Other good games, Houston beat Auburn in the last seconds of the game. Came back in the fourth quarter and scored. Louisville beat Air Force 28-31 or something like that. I saw the score. I didn't really watch the game. But the big thing of this is that the playoffs sucked. And honestly, maybe you just put Alabama and Georgia in there. So, they gotta fix this. There's some of these bowl games are better than the ones that everyone's been looking forward to. So, like I said, come on, committee, get it together and get these bowl games out of the way, and let's just get a freaking big playoff going. 12, 8 teams, 16 teams, hell. You can do 16 teams. Come on, you're paying them now. College football is just like the minor leagues in baseball. It's a minor league system. They're basically pro athletes. So tune in for more What's Your Take. Get on some college basketball. And there is more to come. I got something else coming new. Not on What's Your Take, but something I'll add to my YouTube channel, Life with Wyatt Spalding. So stay tuned for that as I post more stuff, and have a good year in 2022.